Every so often, a package arrives that feels less like a purchase and more like a dare. This is one of those packages. It's got that distinct "I was taped up in a hurry in a warehouse you've never heard of" vibe. And inside, there's a promise. A promise to solve a problem you either didn't know you had, or one you've been battling for years. If your toolbox looks like a junk drawer, you might be an inventor. Or like me, you're just a sucker for a weird gadget. I was deep scrolling through the endless digital aisles of Amazon, past the questionable fashion choices and the kitchen gadgets that peel a grape for you, when I found something online that made zero sense. The listing was a masterpiece of confusing diagrams and bold, slightly mistranslated claims. It promised to create perfect, repeatable joinery, tenons, mortises, maybe even dovetails, all by hand. No router, no power tools, just this one strange contraption. It's marketed as the ultimate shortcut for woodworkers, a way to get traditional results without the years of practice. The question is it genius, or is it just another piece of over-engineered garbage destined for that same junk drawer? Time to test the weirdness. This heavily taped package screamed, "Don't judge me." So naturally, I'm going to judge it. Harshly, unboxed, weird shape. It looks like a science fiction movie prop had a baby with a piece of industrial machinery, and these odd fittings. I'm not sure if these are for adjustment, assembly, or if they're just spare parts from a completely different product that fell into the box by accident. And the instructions. The instructions. They read like a ransom note written by a malfunctioning translation app. The diagrams are blurry, the steps are vague, and I think step 4 just says, "and then, success." Very helpful. But let's talk build quality. Surprisingly solid where it counts. The main guide rails are extruded aluminum, and the clamping mechanism feels robust. There's a decent amount of metal here, which is reassuring. And then, cheap where it didn't. The adjustment knobs are flimsy plastic, the depth stops feel like they'll snap if you look at them too hard, and there are visible mold lines everywhere. It's a real Jekyll and Hyde situation. After a solid 20 minutes of deciphering the hieroglyphics, I set it up. I clamped a sacrificial piece of pine to the bench. We're starting simple, now to try the task it promises, creating a clean, precise shoulder for a tenon. I aligned the guide fence with my pencil line, set the depth, and took a deep breath. First pass, quirky but workable. The cutting action is interesting. It feels less like a plane and more like you're scraping the wood into submission, but it removes material. Second pass, okay, this is definitely slower than a chisel, a lot slower. For the time it takes to make one pass with this thing, I could have pared this shoulder down twice with a sharp chisel and been halfway through the next one. But here's the surprise. Second pass. Cleaner than I expected. The surface isn't as polished as a chisel would leave, but the shoulder is perfectly square, and the depth is consistent. For a beginner, that repeatability is a huge win, but pine is forgiving. I also tried it on hardwood, and that's where the limits showed. On this piece of oak, the blade struggled. It took a lot more force, and you can see some slight burnishing where the tool bogged down. It got the job done, but it was a fight. And on plywood. Forget about it. The cross-grain cutting action just shredded the top veneer, leaving a mess of tear out. This thing definitely prefers straight-grained solid wood. So, the verdict. Is it going to replace my chisels and saws? Absolutely not. It's too slow, too finicky, and too limited. It's not a shop staple. But I don't hate it. It's a clever niche gadget for experimenters. If you're new to woodworking and terrified of cutting a crooked joint, this could be a great set of training wheels. It forces you to be precise and gives you a clean result, even if it takes forever. It's a solution looking for a very specific problem. So, is it genius or garbage? I'm landing somewhere in the middle, on curiously useful. Now it's your turn. What's the weirdest tool you've ever bought online? Was it a game changer or a waste of money? Tell me below.